In shape. Cameras ready to go. They don't have to do any grizzly physics. They're just big enough for the bears. And the webcams, we have here he's gonna. Yeah, what is that? Coola was found near the town of Coola, which is up the coast a little ways. And unfortunately, his mom had been struck and killed.
Like Minecraft, jumped up Minecraft.
Celebrated their true birthday back in the winter time. All bears are born in the hibernation den. But of course they're sleeping and we're skiing up here, so there's no way to... in the wild, in different parts of the world and here in British Columbia. And of course we work very closely with the Grizzly Bear Foundation, who's here today, and they're doing amazing conservation work with bears in the wild. It's going right for the whipped cream, we knew that would happen. And so all of your admission tickets today, a portion of that is going to helping out wild bears through the Grizzly Bear Foundation and work with rehabilitating and rewilding future orphan cubs and taking what we've learned from raising Grinder and Coola here and applying that to helping out future bears. So these guys have really been ambassadors for us, teaching us how to look after young bears and how to raise them so that we could potentially release them to the wild in the future. It's great when he gets it all over his face too. So at 25, like I said, Grinder is slowing down a bit. Both of them are, just kind of like me, you know, I'm no young spring chicken anymore. And at 25, they'd be quite old for wild bears. Most bears in the wild, after 25, they're just getting too slow to compete with the younger bears. But here, of course, they've got a really excellent team looking out for them. They're wildlife rangers and a great veterinary team. Dr. Ken McQuiston is here with us today, who has been their vet their entire time here at Grouse Mountain. So he's watching them closely and helping us. And it'll be interesting to watch. One thing we've noticed is they know the food is frozen and they've learned that water melts ice, and so quite often he'll start to roll the cake towards the bear pond in order to melt to get to the good treats inside. Oh, and there goes Mac with Grinder's cake, so he's getting a good treat right now too. Don't worry about him. So Grinder and Coola, as I mentioned, they're ambassadors, and what happened to them back in 2001 was a sad and unfortunate situation, but we were here to rescue them. Coola was found near the town of Coola, which is up the coast a little ways, and unfortunately his mom had been struck and killed by a vehicle on the highway, and he was found next to her. He was in really good shape. You didn't believe in below the melon when there's whipped cream, carrots especially. Eat your veggies. So he was found orphaned and needed somewhere to go. He was brought into a vet's office, and back in 2001 there was no orphan bear rehabilitation programs. A lot of bears were unfortunately being... Oh, here we go, another moment, camera's ready. So they needed somewhere to go. 2 weeks after Coola was found, Grinder was found near the town of Invermere in the Rocky Mountains of British Columbia, closer to Alberta. So even though they've been raised together, they haven't, they're not brothers, but they kind of think they're brothers because they've been together since they were about 6 months old. Grinder was a little bit different situation. He was found all alone on a forestry service road by some forestry workers, and he was scrawny, he was starving to death, he was very, very thin, and something had happened to separate him from his mother. Sometimes big male bears will chase the cubs away from mom, or other times geography will separate them through rivers or hills or even roads or railways. So we're not sure what happened to Grinder's mother, but he definitely needed rescuing, and he was brought into a local vet's office. And within the 24 hours, he had doubled his weight, rehydrated, and was on the road to success. But like I mentioned, nobody was rehabilitating bears. So Dr. McQuiston heard the plight of these guys, and he knew the owners here, the McLaughlin family at Grouse Mountain, who are the longest family ownership of Grouse Mountain in our 100-year history that we're celebrating this year. And so they agreed to set aside the 5.5-acre habitat you see in front of you today, which is really a world-class. Even today, 25 years later, there's not a lot of habitats like this around the world. So they really had a lucky situation to come into. And we raised them here with an experience of trying to learn from them, again, how we could help future cubs. So they've taught us over the years a lot. We're still learning new things all the time. And like I said, now we're getting into another phase of life for them as they get older. So they're teaching us how to look after elderly bears as well. So these guys, Coola weighs about 790 pounds these days, and that's his lean trim summer weight. It might be a few more pounds after all this cream here, but their own little hollows that are just big enough for the bears, and they'll line it with some branches off of trees. Here we have 3 different types of trees. Oh yeah, he's watching you guys there. Yeah, what is that? Hey, Coola.
Coola.
You smelling, anybody got beaver tails over there? Is that what's going on? Yeah.
Cooler.
So these guys go through that build up, they plug themselves up, they make themselves a den, a bed in the hollow, and then they'll go into the den and spend anywhere from 2 to 6 months inside the den, living off of that body fat that they put on the fall just before that. He's checking everything out. Just wondering if there's more whipped cream, I think. And then once they're in the den, they don't eat, drink, they don't go to the bathroom, they don't urinate or defecate. They're just in stasis mode for the winter time, and that's when they live off that body fat. And they do get up every day. So we were one of the first places in the world to put cameras right inside their hibernation den. Sounds a little creepy, I know, but we watch them while they sleep, and we've learned a lot from them. They've shown us that grizzly bears are actually not true hibernators. They don't go to sleep and then wake up 6 months later. They're busy every day, waking up, stretching their legs, going for a little sleepwalk, a little wander, and then they come out and they're ready to go. They don't have to do any grizzly physiotherapy because they've actually been doing lots of activity over the winter time. So you guys can go to grousemountain.com and you can follow our webcams. We have here, he's going to roll into the water now. Yeah, this is classic. So you can go to our website, you can watch our cameras, and in the winter you can watch our den camera, and it has a time-lapse function. So I'd really recommend that. You can see all day how their day went over a 3-minute period. Yeah, he's given up on trying to rip it apart. He's going to take it to the pond now and try and get it to melt out. So we're still, like I said, we're learning, and everything we've learned from them, we really want to help future bears. One thing also that happens in that hibernation den is that's when young cubs are born. The mom will go in, they have an interesting breeding strategy. They breed in the spring, and mom doesn't actually implant any eggs until the fall, so she can decide how many cubs to have over the winter time. And then she'll raise them inside the den. They come out as little guinea pig-sized bears, and they actually nurse inside the den for the first. Centennial just inside the yurt here. There's some great artist featured there, so you can bid on those if you like. We also have lots going on over the next week here for our Centennial events. Next week we have more drone shows. I checked out the drone show last night. It was really, really good, very entertaining. Come back next week to see the rest of our drone shows. We got some food trucks over there. At 4 o'clock, we're going to have the Lumberjack show. So just down the pathway there, make sure to check out the Lumberjack show. And we'll have one more Birds in Motion demonstration here at 5 o'clock. So stick around and watch the rest of the Cake Smash here, or enjoy your day here on Grouse Mountain. And the Proud Little Warriors and William here are going to send us off with another song. Thank you guys. The Grizzly Bear song. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the Bear-thday. I hope it dries up a little for you, but thanks for coming out today and supporting us, and for all your, over the years, your support of Grinder and Coola and our programs here. Enjoy your day.